Wednesday practice. Today was really the first day that we're getting into really the bowl preparation. What we've done with all our practices up until this point have been really a spring practice type mentality, a lot of fundamentals, a lot of teamwork, good on good, going against each other, giving the red shirts and some of the underclassmen an opportunity to get a lot of reps, which is invaluable for just the development of the program and development of this football team. And so today was just a shorts day. We pulled some of the banging off of them as we've been in pads most of the time up until this point, and just a lot of teaching today. But you can see the excitement coming into it today. The players start getting excited, watching a lot of film, talking about game plans, what we're going to do, and I think they're really excited about the opportunity to play. We know it's going to be a great challenge, but at the same time, we're excited to be in the Zaxby's Heart of Dallas Bowl and have a chance to go to Dallas to play in the Cotton Bowl and to play a team from the Big Ten. So a lot of excitement, a lot of energy in the program right now.
Coach, as you look at Illinois, what's been the biggest difference for them in the final 2 weeks considering the rest of the year?
They've created a lot more turnovers. They've created a lot more turnovers, and they've made some things happen on offense. You know, it was their program as they got in the middle of the year. There were some question marks there on whether or not they were going to get to that 6, but then closing out the season as strong as they did with wins against teams like Penn State and Northwestern just shows you kind of what their talent level is and when they really buckled down and they played good football there the last couple of weeks of the season.
What does O'Toole bring to the table? Is it just his leadership ability? He's kind of sneaky athletic. I mean, you watch him on tape, he's not really impressive, but he's gotten some W's.
You know, he's really solid is what he is. He's really solid at what he does mentally. He's very strong. He's very into it. I think Bill Cubitt, their offensive coordinator, does a great job. Was the head coach at Western Michigan and has come in there. A lot of shifts, motions, formation things. They run pretty much everything. They're very hard to scheme and game plan against because they're so multiple in what they do. And I think that's what he gives them more than anything. He's just very solid. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes and gives them an opportunity to move the ball forward.
A bowl game like this, how do you balance, pleasure and then the business aspect of it?
Well, I think when you get into a bowl game, we want to prepare while we're here. I think it's very hard or difficult to prepare at a bowl game. We're going to get there, go to practice. That night they're going to a Mavericks game. The next day we'll meet and practice. Then they're going to Top Golf. They've got functions at night for them. I said, so there's a lot of social activities, which is part of the reward of a hard-fought season. And I think these bowls are invaluable for these players as a reward for the hard effort and work that they put into during the course of the season. And I want them to enjoy a bowl game. So I think that's one of the reasons that it's so important that we're able to stay here through the 22nd, put on the pads, do the bowl preparation, put in the hard work and effort in what we're trying to do now. And then once we get to the bowl game, it'll be as much polishing things up and correcting some of the little things more than trying to do the bulk of your work. And so that's one of the reasons that we've kind of started today, and we'll go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and trying to really do the hard work and get in bowl prep and get ready. And then when we get there, I want the players to enjoy themselves. But the bottom line, the thing that makes a bowl game enjoyable is having the opportunity to win. We've talked a lot about that. It's a great reward, but make no mistake about it, we're going to play a football game. That's why we're going, and I know the players are excited about that opportunity.
You've been to plenty of bowl games as a coach. Majority of your players haven't. What's your message to the majority of the guys who've never experienced this before?
Pretty much what I said. I mean, I want them to enjoy it. I want them to have a good time. I want it to be a great opportunity for them to spend some quality time together and experience some things maybe that they wouldn't get an opportunity to experience, to go to an NBA game, to go do some of the things we're going to do while we're in Dallas. I want them to be able to enjoy those. But the bottom line is we've got to be focused now and when we get there. It's kind of like when we're in meetings and when we're at practice, let's be focused on what we have to do. But then when we're not there, interact with the other team, get an opportunity to spend some time together. Like I said, it's a great reward for a hard-fought season.
What can the players learn from some of the guys that have been there before, like Hunter Lee, who played in the Poinsettia Bowl a couple years ago?
No, I think, going to that bowl game over in the Poinsettia Bowl, I mean, still, it's about winning. And sometimes you go to a bowl game and you can have a great time, but if you don't win, it kind of leaves that bad taste in your mouth. And this is as much an opportunity to conclude the 2014 season with 9 wins, but it's also a send-off, or a kickoff for next season as we're getting ready to take this. And if you can find a way to go win against a quality opponent, a Big Ten team in the Cotton Bowl, then it's going to help that snowball rolling downhill, and it's going to help build momentum as we go into the offseason.
Of course, today Troy put their release about Matt Moore joining their staff. What's it been like watching Price get an opportunity to get his hands wet and really dive into coaching?
Well, and let me say, I hate any time you lose a coach. I think Matt Moore did a great job here. I'm very grateful to him for the job that he did when he came here. He felt like he had an opportunity to get an offensive coordinator title, and he felt like that was something from a career standpoint he needed to take. And so we're excited for him as he goes on his way. But I'm excited about Price. Price is a good young coach. He's hardworking. He's in this office all the time. He's very knowledgeable. He knows what to do. And really, just watching him here through these first couple bowl practices, I think he's doing a really nice job, and I think the players relate to him very well. So excited about his opportunity right now that he's getting and watching him work a little bit on the field with these players.
How quickly are you wanting to move to replace Coach Moore?
We've already had a couple people come in. We've already talked to a couple, and we've got a couple more coming in. And hopefully before we leave to go to Dallas, if we don't have a decision, we'll at least have it narrowed down at that point. So I'd like to make that decision as quick as we can to move on with recruiting. When you look at recruiting, it happens so early now that I think it's going to be important that we get somebody in place that can start to develop the relationship and the rapport with some of the commitments that we have right now, and as we move forward to closing out the recruiting class.
Houston was asked this on a media conference call Monday, but can he offer any insight on facing a team like Illinois, considering he was part of that team for 4 years?
Yeah, I think he can insight as far as maybe some of the players, et cetera. Being a defensive guy, I'm sure he can help the offensive line quite a bit with who they're going against. I think the thing that a guy like Houston Bates and Cody Sokol and some of these upperclassmen, Paul Turner, and some of the guys that have transferred in bring, as much as anything, is the leadership. I talked about how important it is for our focus and what we need to do, and I think that will be more important than just the team we're playing. I think there may be bits and pieces, and he can say, these are this guy's strengths or weaknesses, but a lot of those things can be seen on film. I think what's really going to be important, more so than that he played there or that he's knowledgeable about some of those players that he went against, it's going to be more that the leadership that he's going to bring to the table as an upperclassman.
It's a Big Ten opponent. It's a bigger game because it's a bowl game. You have a little more time to prepare for it, but it's still the mantra of a faceless opponent, just do your own job and good things will happen.
Well, it definitely starts there. I mean, that's where if we don't take care of our business, we know they're big, we know they're strong, we know they're physical. They've won 6 games in a very competitive, tough conference that's known as being big and physical. When you look at them, they're probably one of the biggest defensive fronts we played, kind of like the Oklahomas and the Auburns. And it's going to be, like I said, it'll be a challenge, but I think that's also what excites our players, is having the opportunity to play an opponent from the Big Ten. And so those are the things that kind of motivate you as you go into it. But we've got to make sure that we take care of our business here as far as getting our team prepared and getting our focus and what we have to do to execute, because it's a long time from the 7th until the 26th. That you're going 3 weeks. It's like having a couple open dates, and so you're playing pretty well at the end of the year, and then you've given them some time off. We've started a new quarter with what we're doing right now, and so now it's just a matter of kind of building into it and having a mini fall camp, and then getting them polished up and ready to play a game.
How do you handle Christmas Day? Chance for them to be with their family, but also their football family.
Well, and it's tough. It's hard anytime you're away from Christmas, but playing on the 26th, you don't have much choice. And so we're going to have a big team dinner with everybody's families, administration, everything on the night of the 24th. We're going to do some things as a team where everybody's got to buy a gift. We're going to have our own little Christmas morning thing. We may have to make it about a 30-cent limit. People will get one Reese's peanut butter cup or something like that. But we'll buy gifts for each other and just talk a little bit about, we always talk about the ultimate meaning of family and what Christmas truly is all about, but then also the time that we're going to have to spend together. And I think it'll be a great opportunity for us to spend some quality time together as a football team.
There are a lot of storylines with the game. Houston, we touched on last week, playing against a former team, and you got Hunter Lee who's going out, already mentioned before, but I know that you're kind of a player's coach, whatever that means, but when you see a guy like Hunter Lee, all he's been through, walk on to scholarship, switching positions, breaking bones and collarbones and everything, and the way he's kind of fought through everything, is that almost the definition of a quintessential guy that you want on your team?
Yes, he is, all of those things. And for me, I'm excited for him, and I know he's going to be excited. He grew up, looking at the Cotton Bowl and all the great games and the history of that tremendous stadium, being in Dallas, playing in front of family, friends in his last college football game. I mean, I think it is a great storyline. It's going to be exciting for him. But at the end of the day, when the ball gets put on the tee, we got to focus on what happens between the lines. But there are some storylines that go along with that, and I think the world of Hunter Lee, and I'm excited for him that it's working out in a storybook type ending where he has an opportunity to play his last college football game in the Cotton Bowl.
The extra practices with the new faces on your offensive line and your linebackers, how important have these been for those guys?
Invaluable. We've gotten about 100 reps a team every day on Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. Probably 100 reps of teamwork, of good on good going against each other, and that's 400 plays. That's half a season, that we've gotten. And so these guys are getting a lot of good quality work of being in the huddle, hearing the play, knowing what to do. I think it'll help us tremendously. We had a week to get this team ready with losing the 5 starters we did in the playoff game. It's unfortunate it turned out the way it did, but I thought those guys really stepped up, and I think this is an awesome opportunity for them to get a lot of experience, not just the guys that are stepping into those positions to play in this game, but also for those young redshirt guys for the future.